So this brings us to the topics of the day, which is the Testament series and the chosen live stream. So the Testament series, I have an article. As you know, I do these. Let's see, where is it?
He has been known to write articles
I
on
have been
occasion.
known. Okay, here's Media Moses. Testament Multiverse Reimagining of Acts of the Apostles comes on Sunday. Watch the live stream here to see Testament episode 1 and 2. So that means you could literally go to Media Moses, bring up this article. It says June 8th right here. And down here is a trailer. And then here's episode 1, it says. Um, it's funny, I think it said episode 1 and 2 before. So I'm not sure if they are shortening the live stream because this is a different picture they had yesterday. And yesterday it said episode 1 and 2. That's interesting.
Did they
I hope they
change their thumbnail?
they might have just changed. Yeah, they could change the thumbnail anytime they want. It'll show up differently, and they're going to put key information on there. But let me read it. Angel makes a great habit of connecting with their audience through live streams and guild access showings. In this case, the Testament film, which previously made a splash with a small but serious fan base 2 years ago, makes its return as the series it always wanted to be. And now Angel's live stream of their first 2 episodes comes this Sunday, June 8th at 4 p.m. Here's the synopsis for this upcoming iteration of the show. On Pentecost morning, a mysterious wind sweeps through the city, stirring whispers of something old and something new. Despite his mother's protests, Stephen follows the call, leading him to an encounter that will change everything. Meanwhile, Saul returns to Salem, determined to secure a place in the temple's ranks. But when the ministers learn of the growing movement of Jesus' followers, fear and fury collide. Desperate to maintain control, they plot to crush the resurgence once and for all. So obviously it says Salem, that's probably Jerusalem, and Saul will be Paul eventually. In fact, I think this character here in this newer trailer is Saul.
Hmm.
See how angry he is? He's so
He's
angry.
angry.
As stated, the earlier iteration of this same show was a film called Testament at the time, but it became The Parables Retold. They changed the title to it, probably to alleviate confusion between the film and the series.
Okay.
But as director Paul Searstad described his new work, it's not a continuation of the old, but a retelling of the same story, also like an expansion of the same universe, which can be told better with a better budget. So it's like they realized they need to make it better, but they're using the same kind of universe, right? So the grain of the idea is they're still there, and they want to make it even better now with a better budget. So kind of exciting. Plus, it's a series, so they're going to be able to give us a lot more from Acts of the Apostles, which is exciting.
I love that because I remember I guess it was like a movie that came out
Mm-hmm.
that was initially called Testament, and I
Yep.
guess now they're calling it the Parables Retold.
Yep.
And I really liked it. It followed Luke, and Luke was sort of this neutral in some ways. He was kind of he seemed kind of neutral in that he was trying to tell the story of what was going on, the
Yes.
story of Christ and his followers.
He's
And
trying
so
to
he
write the
was,
accounts from getting
yes.
eyewitness counts. Yep.
And it was wonderful because he kept saying that he was writing it for a friend, and everyone who encountered him was like, "No, you're writing this for the world."
Mm.
And it was really powerful. And so
Yeah.
he kept just collecting all this information and not really being conscious of what was going on. And then he had kind of a moment where he was led by the Holy Spirit out of danger into a
Hmm.
safe place. And I just thought it was a really good portrayal of Acts, just one of the most important moments in church history, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Pentecost, the numbers were added, like the church grew by 3,000 on
Yeah.
that day. Like it's just wild.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a story that needs to be told. So I'm really excited for this show.
Yeah, and they really punctuated it too with the urgency of that moment. They always seem to be on the run from the authorities in
Right.
the initial film. And so the pacing of it was exciting and
Yes.
interesting. And also just the fact that they're kind of translating it into the modern world, but they're not allowing things like a lot of technology
Yeah,
into it. So everything looks modern, but it feels kind of ancient in a way. So
that's right. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not a period piece. It's not a sword and sandal kind of
right,
vibe at all.
right. And you could say, well, this is makes their show very efficient to make. You could
Mhm.
say that, I suppose. But what the director says is that he feels that it communicates better to a modern audience.
Oh yeah.
That's really why. Maybe he's doing it for both reasons. I don't know, but in any case, I think it was a good choice. So yeah, we could actually watch that trailer. This looks like it will be coming out. Okay, I wonder what happens if I. Yep, it says live in 43 hours, June 8th, 4 p.m. So it's still 4 p.m. They haven't changed that. They just changed it to looks like just season one, episode one.
Is that Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah. So 4 p.m. where we're at in Eastern Standard Time. You want to watch this trailer?
Sure.
Did you steal his body from the tomb?
Why do you keep asking about the body?
Did you take it? They claim he is risen.
Jesus is alive.
He's dead. I saw him.
Wasn't he killed?
Crucified.
Let me explain. That sound.
We were all there at his trial. We all shouted, "Crucify him to the Imperium!" Stephen, you're too smart for this.
I just know it's true. It's something old, and yet something new.
Blasphemy, insurgency, inciting revolution.
We must do something.
Saul of Tarsus.
You believe them?
This has nothing to do with our faith.
It has everything to do with it!
Yep, it's pretty angry.
I'm Ananias. This is my wife, Sapphira. I'm never gonna deny him again.
We're on two different sides of a war that's brewing. And pretty soon, I'm gonna have to start aiming at you.
This, Minister. This is what happens next.
Wow. What do you think?
That that I'm excited. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does have a real English quality to it, I have to say.
Hmm.
Um,
Hooray for English drama.
yeah.
Yeah, that looked great.
Yeah, so that's Testament. It looks interesting. I think the Roman Empire is called the Imperium in it, which kind
Mm,
of makes sense. Although I have to notice that it doesn't seem to have a lot of Jewish elements to it. What would that look like?
mm,
Right? And obviously you really can't understand much of the gospel and much of that time without understanding the Jewishness of it. So I find that to be one of the only things that seemed lacking in that in the visuals there. Obviously, I haven't seen this one yet, but it's coming Sunday at 4 p.m. So hopefully we will see that, and hopefully, even if it is just episode one, that it will be a really good episode. Yeah. Any other extra thoughts about Testament?
I'm just excited. It's great material to make a show out of.
Looks well made.
The Book of Acts.
Yeah. Good acting. A lot of the guys he got are professional pro London actors.
Good
Excited.
writing.
Yeah. You can tell that they are some passionate actors. They got pathos.
Yeah.
It's what you need as an actor.